Hello ladies and gentlemen, Dodger here. Welcome back to Formula 1 2017. With just 3 races to go in our Formula 1 2017 career, we are headed to Mexico today.
Hi, how are you? I'm just passing on your qualifying goals for this weekend.
8th place, as the usual is. Today, we are going to have, once again, our final penalty. I said this before, but I'm going to have to say it again because of a mistake that I made. I did not take an additional ICE when I could have, so here today we're going to need to take that additional ICE. I decided to do this here in Mexico. It's a 10th place penalty because Mexico has a very generous turn 1. And what I mean by that is it's wide, there's lots of opportunity, and it's extremely far away from the start line. All of those factors played in to me making that choice. I think it's going to work out well for us. And yeah, I'm hoping that we can recover. The good news is the car is pretty quick here, but as always with Mexico, it's pretty dicey. The chassis side of the car is still not great, and kind of shows it here.
We don't think you'll have any trouble getting into the next session, so don't push too hard.
I will try, Jeff. I will try. Alright, I really do think we have a pretty good shot here of easily getting through Q1. The car is really good on the Ultra tire. It's a little iffy on the Supers. I am a little bit iffy around this track altogether. Not a track that I list as one of my least favorites, but in the game, I seem to have issues with Sector 3 being able to keep up with the AI's pace through there. They seem to have a rather unbelievable line through that sector, and I typically tend to overdrive it trying to match it, but I'm fast enough in other places on the track that I think I can overcome that. I gotta keep in mind that I got a lot more horsepower behind me right now than I did in practice, but in the practice qualifying program I actually put in the best time, so it's not impossible with a good enough lap that we could potentially have a pole sitting time and then start in 10th or 11th, however that works. I don't know how to math. I'm a race car driver, I don't math. It has come to my attention, though, that the season, the schedule, is a little bit stacked against me. A lot of my tracks that I struggle with seem to be in the last 10 races of the calendar, which hurts me a little bit for, you know, championship fights, if we have one in the future that's maybe even tougher than this one. That is a factor, but, you know, you couldn't just expect me to ask a series to completely change the calendar
You're in second place
to fit my needs. That would be ridiculous. Holy cow, they gained a lot of speed. They were doing 18.9s in practice. Raikkonen just put in a 17.9. I might not be as confident as I once was. Wow, that was impressive. But that should be plenty good to get us through to Q2. We end out in P5, actually. Sergio Perez putting in a good show today. I wonder why, but yeah, P3 for Perez there. And we're in between Ricardo, me, and Massa. Botas way down there in 8th, but only on the Supers. Alright, well, I guess I need to find a little speed. At 17.4. Wow, I thought it was a 17.9. It was a 17.4. I'm going to go ahead and take all the fuel out that I can for this run. Yeah, that should be enough, actually, because we're only going to do 1 lap. And try to have a good Q2 time here. These tires go off so fast that there's really no point in having any extra fuel on board. You're never going to do a second lap. So you're going to do an out lap, a hot lap, and an in lap. That would be it. Try and find a little bit more here, but I'm going to honestly try and be as easy on these tires as I can, since these are the ones we'll be starting to race on. most likely. But I want them to be good for our push through the pack. Max speed and hard on the brakes. There's a little bit more on the table there, but I find that the deeper you are there, the more it screws you up in 2 and 3. Oh, too deep right there. Good recovery, though. Important not to overdrive these slow turns. That's where the chassis of this car really shows that it's maybe not the best around. That's where the tail end will snap around on you if you're not careful. Always too early on the brakes for this left-hander, but then I don't get the car rotated well either. It's the worst of both worlds.
Fuel is marginal. We're close to using up the load. Pit in within 2 laps.
Okay, 17.4. That's what Raikkonen did, and I feel like there was still a touch left in it. So that's pretty encouraging. Hey, guess what? We are on the top of Q2, and it started to rain. So, that'll be fun. Hey, Alonso, you made it into the top 10. Congratulations. And congratulations on announcing you're going to retire only like 3 seasons too late. You definitely could have been relaxing a lot sooner than you are. But that's cool. That's cool. I'm sure he's going to go do something else. Like ask another series to change their schedule. Hey! Reference. Alright, we're in Q3. I'm going to head to the track right now because it's not raining yet. Let's go! I don't want to miss an opportunity here. This has worked for us in the past, and this has bit us in the past. We'll see what happens today. I don't see raindrops yet, but it is very dark. Somebody got out in front of me. They must have been quicker to the enter key. It really is a key component of Formula 1. I messed that up. Hopefully that's the only thing I mess up right now. Alright. I don't see any drops yet. I don't see any moisture on the track. Let's hope that not everybody gets out in these good conditions. But I honestly feel like we have a car that is good enough to be on pole with no shenanigans. Oh, the DRS didn't open. I hit it too early. Getting it all down into there. It's impossible to make up time in those turns. Super easy to lose time. Oh, how did you get out so early, Alonso? Oh, this was a nice run through here.
You'll need to return to the pits within the next couple of laps.
Shut up, Jeff. Oh, I feel like, oh, a little slide there, but it's still a really nice entry to this sector. But a little slide out, too. Probably not my best sector 3. 17, oh! Oh, that's unbeatable. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, there's a way, but there's no way.
We're expecting some rain soon. Expect the first drops in the next few minutes.
Cool.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top 3 are a Williams, Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo.
Interesting
The grid
top
is set
3.
then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, it's goodbye.
I don't think Mercedes got out for the second run I was watching, and I think they went out for the second run and it started to rain on their out lap. So everybody's times is their first out times, so it kind of messed up the field a little. Unfortunately, the Ferraris are 2 and 4, wishing that they were switched with the Mercedes, but should be in good shape. So that's going to put Vettel on the pole. I think we'll be 11th to start, unless I've misunderstood the penalties again. But let's go ahead and get to that race.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Perez, Valtteri Bottas and Verstappen, Hamilton, Ocon, Alonso and Felipe Massa, a Williams, Grosjean,
All right, so
Nico
indeed
Hülkenberg.
11th place.
We're still in with a chance to win the Constructors' title, so let's make this happen in the last 3 races.
What are you smoking lately, Jeff? Come on. No rain, good, but it is going to get cloudier. Starting on the Ultras, obviously. I don't believe we're locked into that, even though we're out of the top 10. Is that true? I think that's true. Yeah, that is true. So that is what it is. Let me just fuel this thing up. I will need some passing power here for sure. I don't want to go too crazy on the weight, but this is a sprint race, and the weight will be manageable either way, really. And, yeah, let's get to it. Alright, let's do our best to get to the right side of the track here. Well, the tire's pretty good, but we did get a better start than Massa. A little bit better than Ocon here. But I think he's going to hug the right side of the track on me. 4 wide up there. Looked like Raikkonen had troubles. It wasn't too bad. I've seen worse here. Raikkonen's still struggling. I think we'll take advantage of that opportunity as we can. Clear to the inside, but I am steering real bad. Nice. We needed that. These two going side by side is going to screw each other. They screwed me too. Screwed me real bad. There was no way to get around them there. Alright, just don't lose time over here. Let's maybe go to Rich. I don't have a real tight draft, but I do think we have more straightaway speed in this Red Bull. Oh yeah. Now we are in a tight draft. Well, he drove it in there, but he couldn't get it turned in. Now, I think we're significantly faster than the Mercedes. So the next position might be gettable. But from there, we might start to struggle. These tires are only going to last me maybe to the end of this lap before they get real gross and ugly, especially in this middle sector where the tire loads are just like insane. Who's that in second, by the way? I think it's Perez. Apparently they modeled some kind of home track advantage, huh? Is that why we did what we did at Coda? I don't know if we have speed on the Mercedes. I guess we're about to find out.
DRS is now available.
In the draft, we are pulling. So we're going to go to the high side here. And hope that we get the inside for the next turn. We do. Expertly done. Thank you. Thank you. And it's Perez in second. Hey. Right. Ooh, I didn't realize how close he had gotten again. That could have been bad. So from this point to the pit stop. It's probably going to be the most critical part of my race. Just trying to take it easy on these tires and not overdo it. I'll definitely be in a position to overuse the rears during this run. Is it overrunning the curves there? Probably. Someone will be mad at me.
Okay, distance to teammate, 4.5 seconds.
Should be a pretty good start for him then. Hopefully he's in the points. Same car we're in, so it should be pretty quick here. Felt a little slow there, but I am trying to be a little easier on the car. Keep those tire temps down.
Okay, gap ahead is 2.4 seconds.
Even if that really means that Botas gets around us, that's probably okay. I'd much rather he didn't, but it might just be what happens. Vettel is in the catbird seat right now. This is where our car gets real ugly in these older tires. He's got no pressure. He's on the prime strategy, I think. Should be a pretty easy win for him, as long as they don't have any mechanical issues. Considering they just did, they probably won't.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the super softs.
Still got a little ways to go, probably 2 laps, I think. Oh, Mazda, nice. How about that? Told you the car was good here. See, I know how that turn works. You give them the inside, sure, they can get next to you. But there's not a damn thing they can do about it once you get to turn 2. Because it very quickly becomes a 1-lane track right there. Whoa, lost a lot of grip through here. Tires already feel pretty awful. Let's be real easy through here. Even last lap was much too messy.
Information on Hamilton. They seem to have an issue. Okay, clear.
Oh, okay. It's open for a safety car, but another parts failure for one of the top 3 teams. It's been the talk of the season, really, hasn't it? We've had a good season, but I don't think we've had a season that we would be in the situation we are in if not for Ferrari and Mercedes both having a lot of issues this season.
The car ahead is beginning to pull away.
That's okay. I'm not worried, Jeff. Calm down. This lap would be better not having to defend in turn 1. I mean, everybody's still within...
Our gap to the car in front is 2.8 seconds.
Oh, that's not too bad. Everyone's still within eye shot, so it's not like... It's not like we're completely out of contention here. Get this thing to last one more lap around here on these tires. See what we can do in that final run. Unfortunately, I don't think our car is nearly as strong on those supers as it is on these ultras, but I make the most of it. Vettel is short pitting. Interesting.
Okay, the pit window has opened. Pit window now open for you.
I just do not have the tire to do that, unfortunately. I'm going to use Rich Mix here and try to close the gap as much as I can while he's pitting, or lose as much gap as possible, basically. And block attacks from Botas, I guess. Oh, that was a nice entry. That was a really nice sector 2 altogether. Help us through here too if you don't get the tires upset. Cool. Very nice. I think we actually closed on Perez a bit there.
Don't forget, pit in this lap.
Trust me, I will not forget. I am ready. Oh, wow, that pit entry is a lot different than I remembered it, to be honest.
Go, exit now.
Clean stop. We are closer to Perez for sure. We're going to come out in a lot of traffic maybe. No, they're going to clear. We'll be fine.
Pit strategy complete. See these tires through to the end.
This is a good place, and Vettel's the one that's actually stuck in traffic. That couldn't be more ideal, really. I think our problem is going to be that we're behind Perez, but hopefully he's still running sporty laps. I get a feel for these tires. Like I said, it's just not as comfortable, especially in the really fast sweepers. It's not as comfortable on these tires. Oh, I guess Hamilton didn't have that much of a problem then. Closing in on Perez here, who is closing in on Vettel because Vettel's trapped behind Van Dorn, I think.
Felipe's pitting now.
Perez just smoked the tires there. We're gonna get DRS. He's gonna get DRS. We're all gonna be going real fast.
2.4 seconds.
So I need to brake real early. That'll smoke tires there. I don't think it's going to hurt him too much. This is actually helping Vettel significantly if we're going to get trapped behind Van Dorn. Oh, and then Van Dorn locks the brakes in front of me. Sorry, Van Dorn, all time for your shit. I don't think that Vettel is at all in my sights as far as trying to get this race win, unless something weird happens here, which weird things are happening here for sure. That was a close one. Oh, this pack is so messed up right now. This is AI at its worst. I have just screwed myself there. Nope, okay. I thought I had given up my DRS. But I had not. Because it was cars pitting, that's right. Okay, clear. Get to the inside. You can't make that move if you clear them, but it's gotta be very clear.
Rain is forecast in just over 2 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes.
That shouldn't affect us. So I'm really glad you told me about it.
Vehicle is looking really good. You're managing it well.
Thanks, Jim. Okay, so if I start to see him completely decimate me and pull away, I need to chill out and not use these tires up. But if I do see that I have anything of a chance, I would like to try at least once or twice at him. Trying to get with that DRS range. I don't know if I did or not.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Our
Nope.
gap to our teammate is 9.3
Hey, it was
seconds.
1.337. There was a leap gap. I overdrove it. It was a good recovery on the overdrive, but I definitely drove it in too deep. Alright, yeah, I think what I said earlier still applies. I don't have a Vettel beating car here, so I shouldn't even try. I should just try to hold on to the second place. The championship points are going to be way more important than getting this extra race victory. And who knows, maybe his tires will fall off a lot towards the end of the race and we'll catch back up. You never know. Just going to use the rich mix on the straightaway here pretty much. Get the update here and then back off of it. Nice and easy. That's not too easy, Cone. That was not too easy at all. There we go, that's better. Now we're talking. Let it track out if it wants to. Oop. Turned a little early there. This is where he will pull us, and that's fine. Because if I drive too hard through here, I will use these tires up. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Oh, that was a nice, smooth lap. Very happy with that. It's intense. Maybe that's not our sector gap. Maybe that's our... I don't know. I don't know how that's working. Mitigate those lockups a bit. Oh, that's why I drove in there on Rich. That didn't help. Need to consider moving the brake bias back a touch. Getting a little front lock up all of a sudden. See, the first couple of seasons I really hated this sector, but now it's really coming around to me. I do enjoy it quite a bit. Maybe by like season 7 of the next career, I'll get this last sector down. .2. Okay, that must be our delta, not our... Yeah, that's our split time.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Hey there. Did you overdrive that turn or something? Boy, I wish we got DRS for that. I don't know what happened, but we did close in a bunch there. Clouds are approaching. I did mention that I don't think our car works the best in the cloudy conditions, but Hopefully it'll suit the more worn out tires more. I think this is my problem now, is if I get close to him in this sector, I'll lose front arrow and then lose time. That was a nice gap. Nice. It's amazing what a difference just changing your attitude, your approach to driving will do for the handling of the car. All I did was calm myself down a bit, and it came right around.
12.6 seconds.
I'll probably try the outside here. Claim the inside. Use the DRS to pull away. Now to really not overdrive and just frustrate the hell out of them. That's my goal. I want to drive as slow as I can, really. To try and save the tires for the end. I feel like I used them a lot more than I had intended to. That's a nice run. I do think his tires are falling off, though. Seems like he was losing speed. I gotta watch out for last-second dives out of him, though. And DRS passes, of course. A lot of fuel to use to defend. But unlike him, I will give him the inside all day long. It's the outside that I want. He didn't quite get there. Not what I expected. Not what I expected at all.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Clouds are getting very looming, but he hasn't said anything else about rain, so I think we're clear there. There's a little slide. It's starting to get to that point of the run, for sure.
We think we may see some rain. ETA is about 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. I guess he was listening. He doesn't listen when I call in. He's listening when I don't. I'm backing him up so much in that last sector. What I mean is I'm just taking it really slow in the places where I know for sure he can't pass, so that I can get a good exit out of the last turn and defend the straightaway as much as I can. He's close and on DRS right now. He had any run on us though. The start-finish line is in a bit of a weird place here. It's not where I would want it to be, I don't think. Kind of cancels any last-second pass you can really pull off. You'd probably see more interesting finish if it was further down. But it is nice that you can't just lose the race on DRS, and maybe that's why they put it where they did. The DRS activation zone, or the DRS start point. Because that would suck just to lose a race because the car behind you had DRS. Like if the start-finish line was down towards like this sign, he could pass me before the finish line just on DRS. Wasn't he in third? It was. I just completely boned up this turn looking at that message. But it's okay. Is it okay? I hope it's okay. He's very close. Taking it very easy.
Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
Those are the messages that I wish they could figure out how to get rid of. Should really know how many laps are left in the race and whether or not that message is necessary or not. Well, I gave him an opportunity there. Stop with the confetti, we're not there yet. I think we got him. He did not get a good exit. We are good.
Superb driving. That's the race win.
Hey, Botas. I'm gonna toot my own horn for a moment and say that's probably one of the best drives I've ever done. Just really happy that I managed to not screw that one
A
up.
great win then for the Williams team today. And I can see our drivers making their way out
Perez.
now. It's been a sublime team performance.
Interesting.
And it's the culmination of a lot of hard work. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Our current
Oh, wow,
points
Mott's
leader
up to
extends
fifth.
their
Another
lead at the
great
top of
drive
the
from him.
championship
Very cool.
After a very good result here today. Now then, Anthony Davidson,
Oh, wow.
who was your driver of the day?
I think I'm going to award it to the Williams driver. Look at where they finished compared to where they started. It's not easy to cut through the field like that in Formula One, so it was a great effort.
On to the constructors then.
Thanks.
Ferrari extend their lead at the top of the
Oh,
championship. After all this
shit.
drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Well, the championship points battle doesn't look like it's going to be as close as maybe we thought it was going to be, because Ferrari's really kind of thrown away their season at the end of the season there. Nice amount of points that it has there, though. But this battle for second in Constructors is going to be very interesting. Alright, well that is Mexico. We'll go to Interlagos for our 50% race for the week, and then our series and season finale at Abu Dhabi next week. Thank you as always for watching. I'll see you next time. We'll watch some of the replay to end us out, but really it was just the start. I don't think there was much other than the start to see.